We stayed at a trailhead last night. Here are the butterflies over here on this side of the parking lot. Great big parking lot. There were a lot of places to stop along the way, and that road coming in over there was terrible. Potholes. But we ended up in such a beautiful place. There are an even dozen of us now. Thought that you look so good here, we should do an interview. I think the light's good on you. Your hair's just brilliant looking. And this beautiful background. I mean, you can't get a prettier background than that.
I must say this is a beautiful setting.
Isn't it just gorgeous? Couldn't be any prettier. I mean, we've got mountains around. It's actually a trailhead. Got some people did tent camping. There's just one vault toilet. And oh my goodness, tell them about the road to come up here.
And there's a lot of potholes, a lot. Anyway, so I'm driving and I'm weaving through the potholes, and some you could not help. You just have to kind of roll through.
Barely roll, yeah.
And I don't know how far. And I finally saw a sign that said trailhead where I was headed. I thought, well, first I had the idea across my brain that maybe I'm lost. Because I kept going and I kept going, and it just got narrow. It says the road narrows. I'm like, oh boy. So meanwhile, there's a lake beside us. Kept going and kept going, and finally, when I came around the curve, here was like 4 or 5 people standing here that I knew.
That made it.
All talking about that road, how bad that road was.
Yeah.
But here we are, and it's lovely here, and it was worth it. We went for a walk yesterday. It was a mile in and a mile back, but we went across 2. It says suspension bridge, and yes, they are suspension bridge, but they're not swinging bridges. They were
steady, yeah.
Steady.
Yeah, that's
like big wood.
Nice.
And it was gorgeous.
So pretty. Big old growth trees, lots of moss. I'm getting behind here. Deborah was just saying it looks like Jurassic Park. I agree.
And we could hear the water. We could hear the rushing water.
Long before we could see it.
I can hear it right now in this riverbed behind us.
These rocks are getting really pretty.
Yeah.
Oh, hear the water. Oh yeah, here comes the water.
When I went across the first bridge, I saw some people were ahead of us, 2 ladies and a dog, and they were down there on the rocks, down by the water. And I don't know how they got there, but I'm going down there. So when I went past the first bridge and I came around, here's a little path, perilous path, going down, and I got flip-flops on.
Yep.
Flip-flops. So I was like...
That's her climbing shoes. That's her hiking shoes.
So I said, well, I'm going to go down there. So it was not too bad going down because I could step on big rocks going down. And I didn't go too far out there because you're walking on rocks. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to turn my ankle out here. So I went out there a little ways and I took some pictures, and it was nice. But coming back up,
harder.
I got these flip-flops on, and I didn't want to take them off because it was kind of wet dirt. Anyway, so I had to climb, holding on to the boulders, like not on my hands and knees, but almost.
Like climbing a ladder.
Like climbing up on those rocks to get out of that little hole. I thought, oh my God. So Sharon says, oh, I'm going to go down there. She got halfway and she chickened out and came back up. I said, no, I was all the way out there. It's really beautiful because the trees had moss on them, covered in moss and big giant boulders that had come down the mountain, I suppose, and some big rock slide, and they were all piled up on each other.
Yeah, made a cave in one point.
It was quite Jurassic Park. And I went around to the other bridge, and it was totally different. It was more rushing. It was more volume to it, and much harder and louder, way louder. But I took that too, coming this way and going that way. Oh, well, when we were sitting here, and these two girls came out, these two young ladies, they had been, or three,
Yeah.
they had been hiking, like teenage girls, older teenage girls. So I said, can I ask you a question? Is there a bridge back down there? She said, oh yeah, 2 of them. Well, how far is it? Oh, 10 minutes. And we said, well, that'd be 20 minutes for us. Well, honey, it was 75 minutes. And we did stop a few times, I have to say. We stopped and took pictures of each other, and we sat on the log, and yeah, it was nice. Well, June is quite adventurous, and June and I, we went to the total, up in the very tip of Washington, to the most northwest point, which is called Cape Flattery. And honey, I'm telling you what, that was a treacherous, I'm gonna call it a hike. It wasn't a walk, it was a hike.
Mm-hmm.
Besides having plank boarding through the forest, there's roots everywhere, and there's big stones that you have to step like steps, and they're slimy.
Ooh.
We made it, and she had walking sticks, and there's a couple of times I had to pull her up, and there's a couple of times she had to pull me up that step because the step was so high. But
Wow.
we made it, and we got pictures of us at the very end. I was proud of us. I was really proud of when we got back. And at the very end, they got a big Adirondack chair. So I climbed up in that chair, and I looked like a little tiny person. And someone wrote to me, please ask the wizard to return you to your former size.
Yeah, that's cute.
About sightseeing, not about camping.
That's right. We've camped some. Gosh, we were just recently at a gorgeous campground, and we were there for a full week.
Oh, it's not just the nature things. Like when we got to Lincoln City, that's Oregon, right? Lincoln City. There was people flying kites on the beach, and I'm driving along and I see these kites. I whip into that parking lot. So this one guy was flying 4 kites at one time. Beautiful. They had long tails on them, and I was mesmerized by these kites. So it's not just in the woods and nature. I mean, you see all kinds of stuff. And when you're driving along and you're headed from one spot to another spot, it's magnificent. You come around the curve and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. Or just seeing the curve. What's around that curve?
What's around that curve? Sometimes it might just be jagged rocks. Sometimes it might be a giant mountain. Snow-covered mountain. Just gorgeous stuff. Beautiful valleys, and the one thing I haven't seen yet is any bison. I've been waiting to see some.
And I will show you some bison when we get to South Dakota.
It'll come. And we stayed at the casino. Is that in Crescent City? It was Crescent City. There was the elk.
Elk Valley Casino, and they just live there.
And I drove down that windy road, and it opened up. You're way high, overlooking the beach. You can see down the beach this way and that way, and it was gorgeous. I got video of that also. But I'll tell you one of my favorite things that we did, and this was in the city, when we went to Oklahoma City, when you and I, Oklahoma land run.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It's, I guess that's bronze. It's just like the real actual land run, the wagons and the horses. And,
The detail.
and the details. You can see the veins in the horse's face. Oh my God, I was just in awe. That's when I decided this is going to be a good trip. This
Yes.
is going to be good because I'm going to see stuff like this. I had tears in my eyes, I swear. I thought this is like one of the most magnificent things I've ever seen.
How many times have you thought that is in the, what,
So many.
little
so many.
2 months? I think it's like I'll never see anything. This is the best. This is the best. I can't top this.
When I went to Zion National Park, I thought that. I'm like, oh my God, this is the most magnificent, beautiful rock formations I've ever seen. Then I went to Bryce, and that was the same thing.
Yeah.
Then I went to Capitol Reef, which I think was my favorite, actually. And that was just a drive through and drive back out. Same thing, you get tears in your eyes. It is emotional because you think, my God, this is the most beautiful country.
I mean, we're in our mid-70s. We're in our mid-70s, and we're out here in nature. And we were just talking earlier about, we feel like we're feral in a good way.
Well, my daughter said to me after I had not been camping very long, she says, Mother, do you feel like you're a free bird? I said, no, I feel like I got let out of prison. I'm just out here. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like soaring. It's a feeling that I can only describe as soaring when I'm feeling that, you know. And I mean, when I'm cleaning dishes or doing laundry, I don't feel like I'm soaring because it's daily life. But when you're someplace like here where we are, where it's so absolutely gorgeous and you're seeing all these amazing things and even just driving the beautiful things, someday when I can't do this anymore, I feel like I'll be going back into captivity.